We are all unique, and what sets us apart from each other is the fact that we all have a different personality. When you're describing people, how many times have you found yourself using basic adjectives such as shy, cheerful, stubborn, or reserved when talking about somebody? Don't you think these adjectives are very basic and overused? Well, today I have a fantastic lesson for you where we are going to be learning one powerful word to describe someone's personality. Hey there, I'm Nysha on Let's Talk, and today if you want to enhance your vocabulary, not only in your speaking skills but also in your written skills, then keep watching this lesson. Let's begin. So, what would you call someone who is truthful, honest and accurate? What word comes to mind? Well, apart from honest, is there any other adjective that you can think of to describe such a person? I'll give you the perfect word. And the adjective is voracious. Say it with me. Voracious. Voracious. This is its pronunciation. Voracious. One more time. Voracious. So a voracious person believes that honesty is the best policy, and they won't even lie for the littlest of things. They will, even if it gets them into trouble, they prefer just to be honest in life. So let's look at some example sentences of how we can use this adjective. My best friend is extremely voracious and tells me things as they are. So here's this no-nonsense person. If you go to someone who's voracious, they'll just tell you things as they are. There's no gray in their opinions. If something is black, it's black. If something is white, it's white. They will never really beat around the bush and just tell you honestly what they think. Here's another example. I'd rather be voracious even if it gets me into trouble than lie to everyone. So don't you think this is a great quality to have in someone, to be honest? So next time you want to describe someone who's extremely honest, don't say honest, use the advanced adjective voracious to describe them instead. Before we move on this lesson, I have something to share with you. We have a smartly designed English fluency course called Speak English Naturally. This course will help you to replace your basic English phrases with advanced C1 level expressions along with 1,000 ready-to-use conversational phrases for daily use. The beauty of this course is that you can access this course anytime, anywhere, and on any device. The course will help you greatly to improve your English fluency. You can find more details for this course by visiting our website. The link for this course is in the description, or you could read the first comment on this video, but only after watching this video. So someone who uses only a few words to express themselves and is rather brief in speech or writing. What adjective comes to mind for that? So I've got a great advanced adjective for you, and the word to describe this type of personality is laconic. Say it with me. Laconic. Let's have a look at its pronunciation. Laconic. One more time. Laconic. So laconic people are people who are very brief when they speak, very short, sharp, crisp. Their conversations are very to the point, and they don't like to really waste a lot of time in conversation because they feel that they want to just get to the point very quickly. Let's see how we can use this adjective in a sentence. Our boss is extremely laconic in team meetings, but we always understand what he means. So someone who uses very few words to describe themselves but is always correct and to the point, you can describe that personality type as laconic. Now moving on to the next personality type. So someone who is modest or shy because of lack of confidence. So we have two types of people. People who are very, very confident when they speak. And then on the other side, you have people who are very shy, timid, and reserved, and they really can't express themselves. Not because of anything else, but because they lack that confidence. And how would you describe that personality type? Let me tell you. The advanced adjective to describe this personality is diffident. Diffident. Let's have a look at its pronunciation. Diffident. So the moment you get here, diff, yeah? But then the I has a sound. Say it with me. Diffident. diffident. So let's see how we can use this word in a sentence. My younger brother is highly diffident and finds it hard to make friends. So someone who is shy and always in their own shell, not really opening up, tends to just keep to themselves, is a person who would be diffident. So next time you want to describe this personality type, instead of saying shy, you can say the person is diffident. Moving on. Now we have someone who is always cheerful and full of energy. Don't you like such type of people? They just walk into a room and just spread positivity with their cheerfulness. Now, how would you describe such a personality? The word is ebullient. Ebullient. And here is its pronunciation. Ba, li, ant. Although the word starts with an E, the pronunciation is okay? So it's ba, li, ant. Ebullient. Say it with me. Ebullient. So someone who is extremely cheerful, positive, and just full of energy is an ebullient person. Sarah's ebullient laughter filled the room with joy. So here's how you would describe someone who is extremely cheerful. Moving on. Now, someone who pays great attention to detail because they like everything to be very neat, accurate, and in good order. What would you describe this personality type as? I'll give you a great word, and the word is fastidious. Fastidious. Let's learn its pronunciation. Fa-sti-di-us. Say it with me. Fastidious. Fastidious. So fastidious people are very detailed and they like everything organized and everything to be kept in the right place. And if something is just misplaced, they get very irritated because due to their nature, they like everything to be in its set place. So that type of personality, you can call them fastidious. My fastidious wife gets mad at me whenever I pack my own suitcase and she fills it all again. So here's this husband packing his suitcase, putting everything he wants, and then his fastidious wife is saying, what have you done? It's all a mess. It's not organized. I have to pack everything again. So that's fastidious wife there, trying to get everything organized. Okay, now let's move forward to the following personality type. So someone who doesn't want to change their opinion or actions despite of convincing them. What adjective comes to mind? Someone stubborn, right? Someone who just doesn't listen to anybody and wants to do what they want to do. So we're not going to use the adjective stubborn. Instead, I have an advanced adjective for you to describe such a personality. And the adjective is obstinate. Obstinate. I know this pronunciation can be a bit tricky. Let's see how to pronounce it. Word. So again, the I has a sound, yeah? Obstinate. Say it with me. Obstinate. Obstinate. So an obstinate person is someone who is stubborn. If they've made their opinion about something, they are not likely to change it because they are very stubborn, right? So let's see how we can use this word in a sentence. Ria's obstinate nature often caused conflicts with her peers at work. Of course, if you've got a stubborn nature, an obstinate nature rather, you are not likely to really think or consider other people's opinions, and that can get you into trouble and cause a lot of conflict between your peers, especially when you're working where you're likely to be working in a team or expected to be working in a team. Moving forward. Now, someone who is lazy or disinclined to working or making any effort, you know, like a couch potato who doesn't really like to do anything. So we are not going to use the word lazy. Instead, the advanced word is indolent. Indolent. And let's have a look at its pronunciation. Indolent. Say it with me. Indolent. Indolent is the word to use instead of calling someone lazy. And here's how we can use it in a sentence. His indolent attitude towards exercise and healthy eating caused him to gain weight. Of course, if you're going to be lazy and not really look after yourself and your body, then you're bound to put on weight. So here's an example of saying, you know, don't be lazy. If you are going to be lazy, then you're going to end up just gaining weight and being unhealthy. Now moving on. Someone, a personality type who's incapable of making mistakes or being wrong, who feels that they're always accurate and reliable or certain when they say anything or do anything. What type of personality word comes to mind? The word is infallible. Infallible. Here's the pronunciation. Infallible. Say it with me. Infallible. And how would we use this word in a sentence? Jane's instincts were infallible. She always knew the right decision to make. Now, some people have this innate ability to just be calm in a situation, always thinking correctly, clearly, and making the right decisions, no matter how much pressure is on them. So such a personality type would be an infallible person, where they're always correct and making the right, wise decisions in situations. So that was all about a person with an infallible personality. Now moving on to the next personality type. Now someone who is willing to take risks and go the extra mile. So in common words, you would say someone who is very daring, who really wants to challenge themselves and take risks in life. What would you call that personality type? The word is audacious. And let's see how we can pronounce this word. Audacious. Say it with me. Audacious. So that was audacious. Say it with me again. Audacious. Audacious. Now let's see how we can use this word in a sentence. It was audacious of her to quit her high-paying job to join a startup. I mean, who does that? So someone who's a risk taker is an audacious person, and that's the personality adjective you can use next time you want to describe someone who loves taking risks. Moving on to the next personality type. Someone who is shrewd, clever, and skilled at handling situations. So someone who can gauge a situation and know exactly what they need to do, what they need to say, how they need to behave, and just have that presence of mind of how to be in a situation. And what is the advanced adjective we can use to describe someone like that? I've got a great word for you, and the word is canny. Canny. Say it with me. Canny. Let's have a look at its pronunciation. So the CA becomes ka. Ka-ni. Canny. Canny. So a person who is extremely clever and knows how to handle a situation very well. With his canny business acumen, he managed to turn a small startup into a successful multinational business. So next time you want to call a business person as sharp, instead of calling them sharp in business, you can call them canny. Now finally, let's have a look at a brief summary of all the words we've learned today and their meanings. Voracious, which means to be truthful, honest, and accurate. Laconic, which means someone who expresses their views or their thoughts only in a few words. Diffident, the pronunciation was diffident. And what does it mean? Someone who is modest and shy, someone who lacks confidence and is always timid and in their own little shell. Diffident. The next one is Valiant, which means someone who is cheerful and full of energy. So next time you can call that person as an Valiant personality. Next is fastidious. Fastidious, and it means someone who has attention to detail. Next is obstinate, which means someone who is stubborn, right? Who is refusing to change. So a stubborn person, you would call them as obstinate. Indolent, which means a lazy person. Infallible, which meant someone who is not capable of failing. Someone who always tends to make the right decisions. So he's never really wrong. I mean, we'd be perfect if we'd would not make mistakes. But this personality type tends to just make the right decisions. Audacious. Do you remember what this word meant? Someone who likes taking risks, right? Willing to take risks. And lastly, the word canny, which meant someone who's shrewd, clever, and skilled. Most business people who are successful tend to be canny, right? So that was it, guys. Today's lesson was all about powerful adjectives to describe people's personalities. So next time you want to use better words to describe people, use the words that I have taught you today in today's lesson, and not only improve your vocabulary, but also your written skills. And I'll see you soon in another great video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.